Welcome. In today's video I'm going to share how I just took the photos shared in the intro, all the mistakes I made and a few lessons learnt along the way. This is a quick video. I use this set to take most of the photos. I used all four Leica system cameras, Leica SL, CL, Q and M, and I'll explain which may be the best for different scenarios. Quick video, lots of behind the scenes footage, a few sample photos. Let's get into it. Hey guys, Matt here from MrLeica.com. I don't know how it is for you, but in the UK we've got kind of storms, weather warnings, and it's absolutely miserable outside. So I thought, right, I'll do some product photography instead in the warmth of my studio. So I wanted to use all four Leica cameras, SL, CL, M and Q, to find out which might be best for me. I just got this yellow watch in the post from Marlow, so I wanted to match yellow watches to yellow stuff. So I grabbed some kind of anything I could think of which was yellow. So the yellow filter on the Barnett camera, the yellow can of the old 400 foot of XX film, and a box of Tri-X, or I think it's T-Max. So the original plan was to have lots of stuff around the camera and the watch and try and match the colours. I was really struggling to get like a clean composition, so bit by bit it kind of got simpler as you watch as the video proceeds. I then needed the watch on the same film plane as the top of the camera, so I put the watch on a film pot, and then by taking a photo from the top down, it's on roughly the same angle as the top of the Leica camera, and so it's almost both in decent focus, and then everything below it goes out of focus. So that kind of worked. If you notice, I think I was using this Q first. It was okay, but not the best. Then I tried the M with a Typoc 51.4 Chimera, which goes to 0.45 meters. That was okay, but wasn't really close enough. Currently I'm using the SL with the Sigma 2470. That's pretty good. And then in a second I'll switch to the CL because that's got a 1.5 crop, and so it also gives you increased depth of field, which I found I really needed. So here's that's the Q. I was going back and forth between the different cameras. If you want to get close, the Q is excellent. The M is probably the worst case scenario, so I'll not put that on the list. And then the SL and the CL both do a similar job. It's just the CL gives you more depth in focus, making it easier for kind of product photography. If you want arty shallow depth field, obviously a full frame sensor, say the Q or the SL, would be better. This is how close I could get with the CL and the 2470. I could actually rest the lens on the watch strap. It could go that close. It was kind of crazy. All of these photos I'm trying to share RAW plus presets, so you can see the difference. The yellow strap was too bright, so I put the black strap back on. These watches come with like quick release straps, so that made it easier to quickly switch out of the watch strap. If you've never heard of Marlow, I only just found them recently. They're a UK micro brand for watches. So I thought, being British and a watch fan, I should get myself a British watch. I can put a link below if you're interested. I just bought this one and a red one. Good prices, kind of Seiko prices, and way higher spec watches. This has got a Japanese Miyota movement in it, so like really good movement at a great price. And I love the design and colours of these watches. Amazing for photos and for obviously anything else that you want to kind of jazz up a bit with some colour. Now here you can see me now using a piece of paper to try to bounce a bit of light onto the side of the watch. If you see here, this is all now with the CL. I pretty much gave up and started only using the CL after about the first third of the way through the shoot. So pretty much all the photos you're seeing are CL photos with a 2470 raw or edited preset, and then I did a bit of radial gradients and things just to try to put more focus on the watch on the edited versions. I also used barn doors on the LED to give me a strip of light. Okay, so that is end of day one. Lots learnt, lots of mistakes made. I think main things I learnt and main takeaways, if you're interested in this type of photography, you want to make a note. Number one, lighting is obviously really important, and I think bigger, softer lights are probably easier to use than small, contrasty lights. And then as you saw, using a bit of paper can make a huge difference in terms of just getting a nice bit of subtle edge light to, I don't know, a camera or a watch or whatever it is that you're photographing. In terms of lenses, you can probably use any sort of macro lens. I was using the zoom lens showed in the last video. If you missed that, I'll link it at the end. It's a Sigma 24-70 version 2, the very latest one. And yeah, it seemed to do a great job for this very basic attempt at product photography, macro photography, whatever it is you want to call it. Some of my other beginner errors: number one, make sure you've got a dust blower to get all the dust off, because as soon as you start doing kind of close-up work, you see all the dust that you didn't see. And similar to that, have a cloth, because if you've got fingerprints like I often have on my rangefinder cameras and lenses and whatnot, I lost a lot of photos because there was fingerprints and smudges on the glass, things I'd missed before taking the pictures. If you're taking photos of cameras, you don't need as kind of macro-y-ish lenses, if that's a phrase, because obviously they're bigger cameras. If, however, you're taking photos of small flowers, or in this case watches, the closer you want to get, the more chance you're going to want to use a dedicated macro lens. I think Sigma make a macro lens, so maybe I'll have to try that out in a future video. So those are some of the beginner tips I've learned so far. Did I miss anything obvious? If you're good at product photography, let us know in the comments. What are your top tips for product photography for taking clean looking shots? So it is the end of day one, but I hadn't given up. I wanted to take on board what I'd learned on day one and apply it to day two. Okay, day two. So I tried to learn from day one, and so now I'm using tripod for a lot of photos. I'm using maybe a more simple setup, a simple composition. I'm using more paper to try to get some kind of nice reflections on the edges of the watches especially. And I'm going to use the camera on a tripod to free my hands up so I can hold bits of paper and various things to try to multitask. So with that said, let's have a look at some of the results and footage from day two. Okay, day two. So I'm determined to get some decent photos. I had a lot of misses on day one where I just didn't have enough depth in focus. Wanted to use my converted M10, now M10P, so it's got the nice script on the top plate, making for great pictures. And also now I'm using a Leica watch because I thought match the red strap to the red font on the Typok Samara and the top of the Leica. I think Typok has still got deals on for Black Friday. I can put a link below if you want money off on Typok. But yeah, really happy with the colour matching on this. Definitely learned a lot compared to day one. Next, I wanted to do just watch photography to make it even simpler, so I had to get closer. So now I'm trying to make the same kind of lighting on both sides to give that nice edge light, and I was pretty happy with this one. It looks almost professional. The same with this one, just a similar setup. Next, I thought I'd try and go back to yellow after I found a yellow topped vintage film pot in my pile, so I tried to do yellow and yellow. In hindsight, it was a bit too close to final composition, but I use this lens cap to block out the flare. That's what I'm doing for this shot. Both things are on film pots again to get the same height, which means there's more in focus, meaning even at say f11, f13, there's enough depth when you're really, really close. There's final photo, not too bad for a beginner. You can see the depth because it's up on the film pots. Here's another watch. I just thought I'd try it because I had it on my wrist. So this is now silver and red, so I didn't need to match colours, and then I thought I could just do a simple composition. Same setup as the last photo, where I've got it up high to give kind of depth, even though I'm shooting at say f11, f13, and I'm out of battery. Did well. I went through about 3 batteries on the CL over about 3 hours, and that's what I got. If you enjoy me covering different types of photography, hit the like button and then I'll know to make more. As if you've seen this channel before, normally we're doing model photography, so I thought I'd mix it up a bit today. I always like taking photos of cameras and watches anyway, so I thought I'd make a video to share with you guys. Thanks for watching, a huge thanks to my amazing patrons, and hopefully see you in the next video.